Hey there, it's Wayfair here, where delivery and setup are as easy as a few taps on your phone. You're relaxing in an old hammock, scrolling Wayfair's app, when you spot it, a brand new patio set. Next thing you know, Wayfair delivers it right to your patio and sets it up. Oh, you need a new grill too? All right, Wayfair's got you covered. With Wayfair's Room of Choice delivery and fast expert setup on qualifying orders, life gets a little easier. Visit wayfair.com or the Wayfair app.
Wayfair, every style, every home.
Welcome to the Black Tax. There's an African proverb that says, education is what you know, not what's in the book. When I graduated from law school, I, like most students, didn't have the wardrobe necessary to move into my new career. I had already signed my contract. I had already got my signing bonus, but I needed to go shopping. I had about 10 days before I was going to start work. So I decided that I needed to go buy suits that were going to fit the firm I was working at as well as the lifestyle that I was chasing. So I go to Saks Fifth Avenue like 10:30 in the morning on a Wednesday. And there are 3 sales associates, black men, helping 3 white women purchase things. I approached the first salesman and says, when you get through, could you come and assist me? He looked at me and was like, sure, no problem. And then goes back to working with the white woman. There is another salesman who is walking past, and I was like, when you get a chance, could you give me some assistance? And he was like, sure, let me finish what I'm doing. And then the third associate did the same thing. So I was like, okay, clearly these 3 black men don't want to help me, a black man. So let me take my money and go elsewhere. Just as I'm about to step off the floor, this young white man comes from behind the shoe department and asks, am I being helped? And I was like, I was waiting for one of the black sales associates to help me, but apparently they're too busy to give me any assistance. And he was like, oh, I'm so sorry to hear that. Can I help you? And I was like, sure. I mean, if you can help me get what I need, I'd appreciate it. But before we move forward, do you make a commission? He says, we make commission on every suit we sell on top of our salary. Today's your lucky day. And he was like, why would you say that? Because I'm going to buy 15 suits, 30 white shirts, 3 pairs of shoes, socks, underwear, t-shirt, all of it. And he was like, what? I said, yeah. So I'm set to spend a very pretty penny today, but I need to know before we get started, am I going to be able to get 5 of the suits by Sunday? Because I start work on Monday. He's like, we can make sure that happens. Perfect. Let's get started. So we start walking around the store and he's pointing out different things. And I was like, okay, this is fine. This is okay. But nothing is grabbing my attention. And I said, let me narrow what I need. Colors need to be grays, blues, brown, a tweed or 2 in this. They need to be a 10-month wear suit. I also need something that can be an all season because the summers are very hot, but it's the fall, so I've got time to get those. So 1 or 2 of those would be great. I want French cuff white shirts. I need collar pins, and I need ties that are going to be somewhat muted, bright, but not loud. He's like, I got you. So he asked me to sit in the lounge that they had, and I sat. And he bought suit after suit after suit after suit. There were thumbs up, thumbs down, thumbs up, thumbs down, some thumbs way down. But we finally got 15 suits. They were classic suits that are timeless. He also bought over 2 top coats. So I have a cashmere coat. I wanted a long one. And I have a short cashmere coat. So we got everything together. Everything is moving forward. He calls downstairs for the tailor and the seamstress to come up. They come up. They start taking my measurement. We try on the first suit. We get it done. We try on the second suit, the third, the fourth, and the 5th suit. Tailor takes those suits and he goes and gets started on tailoring the suits so that I can have them by Sunday. The seamstress is going to focus on the next 10 suits, and we're taking our time getting it done. So the first black salesman comes into the lounge and he says, are you buying all this today? And I was like, I am. And he's like, oh, okay. So then he leaves and he must have gone to tell the other black sales associate what was happening. So moments later, all three of them step back in, and the young white sales associate is off looking for a burgundy Ferragamo because they didn't have it in the store to see where he could find it at. And he went to take care of that. So now these three men, while the seamstress is pinning my suit and measuring it to my size, the three men are looking at me and they're baffled. They're like, I don't understand. Why would you give this business to him and not to us? And I said, I stood on this floor for 25 minutes waiting for either one of you to come and help me. But you were so engrossed in helping the older white women you were helping, you ignored me. I also am going to take the liberty to believe, because I came in here and with a backpack, cargo pants, sneakers, and a hoodie, you assumed that I was in here to steal. And now the greatest gift that you three are going to learn today is that you should never judge a book by its cover, because you wouldn't want anybody to judge you with your cover. And they're like, oh, well, we all share in the commission, so we'll still be getting a part of that commission. You're not. And I'm going to see to that. I'm going to make sure you never get any part of this man's commission. So the young white man comes back and he's like, is there a problem? And I was like, there is a problem. Can you get the manager for me? And I don't mean the department manager. I mean the store manager. And he's like, okay. So the black men try to stop him. And I was like, and don't let them stop you at all. I need to talk to the manager. So they're sitting there with their arms folded and their lips poked out and they pissed off. And I'm just like, you're going to learn today. So the manager comes in and we're finishing up the suits tailoring. And he's looking around and he's like, wow, you bought a lot of suits. And the seamstress says he already has 5 downstairs being tailored. And he was like, you bought 15 suits today. I did. I start my new job on Monday. And so recently graduated from law school and I don't have any suits and I need to get everything done because once I start, I'm not going to have time to go shopping. So I just need to focus while I have this time off to get it done. And he was very congratulatory and that's amazing. I hope it really works out for you. And I said, I hope so too. But I spoke to this young man who has been helping me. And let me tell you, if today's his first day of working here, you have a star on your hands. He is going to do amazing things here. The young white man was very like, wow, thank you. I appreciate that. You did an amazing job. And I'm a very satisfied customer. But these three were disrespectful to me. I waited 25 minutes because I thought they worked on commission so that I could give them the commission. But of course not. They ignored me. Now, I'm sure it was because of my appearance and they made the assumption that I'm just a black man who's in here with a hoodie and a backpack 10:30, 10:45 in the morning that I must be in here to steal. So they ignored me. Then they decide to come in here and talk to me about this and then have the audacity and the unmitigated gall to tell me that they are going to share in the commissions that this young man who did all the work should get. And he was like, we don't share commissions. Well, according to these three, you do. Now, I'm going to give him my card. And if he calls me and tells me that the commissions that he should have gotten were split with the department, I'm going to file a lawsuit on his behalf. And I'm going to use every contact I have in this city with the press to ensure that everyone knows the pyramid schemes that you are playing with the salespeople who should be earning the commissions. The store manager assured me that was not the issue and that would never happen. And I was like, I'm glad to hear that because I have nothing but time on my hands to file suits. And he was like, that won't be necessary. I will guarantee that his commission will be his commission. Okay, I appreciate that. And thank you. So the store manager, who was white, gave these three black men the side eye. And that side eye said, you motherfuckers is in trouble. You motherfuckers fucked up. And so we're going to have to deal with that fuck up. So I get all my suits. I come back the next week. All the suits are ready. It was 10 suits. It was a lot of stuff. And he's like, what I can do is I can arrange for them to be sent to you. if you're okay with that, at the courtesy of the store, that would help me tremendously. He says, I can have it delivered to you tomorrow, which was Saturday. And I was like, great, let me give you my address. And I appreciate it. And we built a relationship, that young sales associate, who has since moved on from Saks. But he would pull clothes for me when something came in, of a new set of designers and suits were coming in. He understood my palette, what I needed, what I wanted, and it was a great relationship. It really was something that he learned from and I learned from. Oftentimes, we as Black professionals always have to throw our cards out, show our credentials, show the level of power that we have with our own people. And then when we try to give them an opportunity, they still spit in our face. These 3 Black men, older, for whatever reason, dismissed me. And I was annoyed by it, but I was stern in what needed to happen. Lessons should always be taught and learned. And these 3 needed to learn the lesson that you can't judge a book by its cover. You can't then turn around and think you can manipulate a situation to make somebody give you something when you didn't earn it. And that this individual can get you fired from your job for the amount of money I just spent and will continue spending just because you had a stereotype in your head because of the way I presented myself. I'm always going to be me. I'm comfortable in a suit and tie just as I am comfortable in a pair of fatigues, a hoodie, and a baseball cap. Nothing changes with me. I am consistent. I'm so consistent that all those suits that I bought 30 years ago, I can still wear today. And you know why I can still wear them today? Because they are classically cut suits. They are never going out of style. The Armanis, the Bosses, the Ungaros. But the reality is that when you are your authentic self, sometimes it's a bit too much for your own people to handle. And you should always remember, no matter where you go, why you go, or what you go, that standing your ground, being principled, and teaching lessons along the way are quintessentially important. Not only for you, but for the collective, for the person who needs to learn the lesson, because it changes perceptions. It opens up minds. It allows them to see the world differently. And you can be that catalyst for change. Stay woke. We out.